am driving a 2018 Volvo V90 cross country, and a special part of this specific car is it has the Polestar Tune from the factory. So the V90 actually can't be bought straight from a dealership in America. You have to special order this car. You won't find a single one on the lot. But the cross country is available, but they're still really, really hard to find. The cross country is a kind of a little more lifted, more crossover-ish version of the wagon. And I mean, you really don't see these out there at all. I don't think I've ever seen one on the roads in Michigan. It's a really unique vehicle. And I like it a lot because, I mean, wagons, I am a fan of. A lot of Americans don't like them, which is the reason why a lot of automakers don't really bring them here. But a premium wagon that has decent performance, I am excited to try it out. We'll talk about some powertrain basics first. Almost all the Volvos in the lineup now offer the same engine. It's a 2-liter 4-cylinder, and it's turbocharged and supercharged, so it's twin-charged. In this car, it makes 316 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. This is a T6 all-wheel drive. T6/T8/T5 is kind of how Volvo denotes the lineup hierarchy of the outputs of the engine in the vehicles. T8s, like in the XC90, you get a hybridized system that combines that same 2-liter 4-cylinder that's turbocharged and supercharged with a electric motor setup. In this car, it's just pure internal combustion. Now, the Polestar Tune I mentioned, it provides a lot of cool things. The most basic one is horsepower increase and torque increase. So again, 316, 295 from the factory. From the Polestar Tune, it gets 330 and 325 pound-feet of torque. But you don't really get the Polestar Tune solely for that horsepower upgrade. It also drastically improves responses, the throttle responses, your gear shift points. It kind of, overall, the owner put it to me as like, you don't get the Polestar Tune just for the horsepower. It's for the change in response of the vehicle. I have not driven a regular V90 T6 without a Polestar Tune. The owner of this vehicle did, and he said when he compared the two of them, big difference, immediately definitely wanted to get the Polestar Tune. It's really cool. It's offered from the dealership, still backed with warranty, everything's done. It's like OEM tier level that you get this tune from the factory. I find it really interesting. If we talk about some of the exterior and interior styling things, on the outside, I think the Volvos look amazing now. In the past, they've never really appealed to me. The styling of them didn't excite me. The newest ones are extremely upscale, premium. I love the new like T-shaped hammer daytime running lights that's shared across the entire family. The proportions look great. This is actually a really long vehicle. It's longer than an X5. It's a long wagon and it's slightly lifted. This model has the painted, like the body cladding. Some of the lower tier ones have like the black fender cladding, which I don't personally like, but I mean, this thing, well-spec'd, loaded on the 20-inch wheels, looks amazing. All the Volvos out there now, I think, are very well styled. They stand out from the crowd of the Germans because you don't see them that often. Interior-wise, I think it's even a step above the exterior styling. It's utterly amazing. I mean, one of the best out there. My favorite aspect of it is the open pore wood, open grain wood. You can actually feel the texture. It's not covered with some plasticky veneer that's all shiny. It's got like a satin finish to it. And you can actually feel the grains. You're like, okay, this feels like actual real wood. High quality leather. I love the saddle interior color. The seats are very adjustable. You can get very comfortable in them. It takes a little bit of fiddling around because you can extend the bottom bolster and the side bolsters and this and that. They are massage in this vehicle, which is also very nice because who doesn't like massage seats in their car? Heated rear seats. Again, the overall thing is just like the materials are very, very nice. Craftsmanship is the highest quality. The little details, like a little Swedish flag on the seats right there. You've got a giant center screen in front of you that has a speedometer, tachometer. It's got the map showing up in the middle right now. In the center infotainment, it's called Sensus. That's Volvo's system. It works pretty well. When I first had the XC90, I really liked it a lot. But again, some owners have had some issues with it lagging or not booting up properly. It can be a little complicated in terms of nested menus and having to find things. There's a little bit of a learning curve, but overall, I think it works well. The graphics are very nice. The second biggest highlight that I really love is this car is equipped with a Bowers & Wilkins sound system. If you're not an audiophile, you might not really know what Bowers & Wilkins is. If you are familiar with McLarens, the 570S uses Bowers & Wilkins. A lot of very high-end vehicles provide this sound system, and in my opinion, it's one of the best. On par with some of the best ones I've heard are the Bowers & Wilkins and the Volvos. Burmeister and the top-end Mercedes sounds amazing. And then the Meridian and the top-end, the loaded, like, autobiography-level Meridian sound system and Range Rovers is also amazing. But, I mean, the Bowers & Wilkins has, like, the machine metal grills with the drilled holes, nice, and, like, machined Bowers & Wilkins logo, that nice speakers with the tweeter in the middle. It's such a good sound system. You have to, it's not cheap, but if you like listening to music and you enjoy a quality sound system, get the Bowers & Wilkins. Overall, I mean, the interior is spacious. It's open. Giant panoramic sunroof. I love the frameless rear view mirror. I mean, as hopefully you can tell, I really like the modern Volvo interiors. They're one of my favorites in the luxury segment right now. It has a different character to the Germans out there, and I really do like them. It's a nice place to be. Driving wise, so this has the Polestar Tune. You have drive modes, which is controlled by this little rotary toggle switch here. I'm in comfort now with the air suspension. It's very comfortable. Isolated from the road. Not a lot of road noise and wind noise gets in. I'm going to throw it in dynamic, and it perks up. 330 horsepower and 325 pound-feet of torque is a pretty good amount. It's very competitive in the segment. And as this is like a lifted wagon essentially, not quite a crossover, but it's kind of in between the two of them. The driving is very nice. Don't expect it to be a super sports sedan, sports wagon. It's not an E63 AMG, and obviously the price reflects that. But it has I wouldn't object to driving this every day. In the snow, I think it would be a lot of fun. It is all-wheel drive. It has some good responses. And I would not say it's slow. It's quick. It gets up and goes. Yeah, and it's blipping downshifts for me in dynamic mode with this Polestar Tune. I'm taking the owner's word for it that the Polestar Tune is 100% worth it. $1,200, $1,300, something like that from the dealership. It comes with the vehicle. Get a little Polestar badge on the back. Let's see. Let's keep checking out how this thing drives. Again, I already said it. It rides very nicely. The sound, I wouldn't say is particularly refined. I do have, like I said back when the review of the XC90, some slight concerns with this powertrain, just because it's extra complexity. You're adding a turbocharger and a supercharger. If you go to a T8, it's even worse. It's got a hybrid system. It's a lot of factors that are in there. But I mean, just experiencing and driving around, I like it a lot. It's pretty well refined. It's smooth and comfortable. So if you're looking for something from the luxury side, it rides nicely. Even though it's on large wheels and our Michigan roads suck, the air suspension absorbs it nicely. The steering is friendly. It's got all the tech features. There we go. I can't forget this. We have to talk about the technology and safety features because Volvo really is leading out there. A lot of cars have adaptive cruise control now, lane keep assist. Volvo brings, I think they call it Drive Pilot or Pilot Drive or Pilot Assist or something. It's their semi-autonomous suite of driver assist features. I've used it before on the freeway. When there's no traffic, you just put cruise control on and let it do its thing. Keeps it in the lane. You just have one hand on the steering wheel. You wiggle it every couple of seconds. It stays in the lane. It speeds up and slows down with respect to traffic around you. This car does things that make you more relaxed. It's on the level of something like an S-Class or a 7 Series from the technology perspective. Heads-up display, blind spot warning, all the safety. It parks itself out. You've got massage seats. I mentioned that. Excellent sound system. It really checks like all the good boxes that you want checked from a technology and luxury standpoint. And then we can get to the value standpoint. Again, it's a premium luxury vehicle, so the price reflects that. This thing's stickered for over $70,000. Allegedly, I was told some dealers are offering some pretty hefty, nice discounts on these vehicles, possibly because they're still trying to expand the brand portfolio. I mean, you don't see these out there. They're pretty rare, so clearly that means millions of people aren't buying them. But a comparably equipped like E-Class of a similar level, if you look at an E-Class wagon, is going to cost more. They're really also, the other problem is there aren't really direct competitors out there. Aren't many of them because nobody really makes wagons anymore, or they're all going over the crossovers, the SUVs. Honestly, I thought it was interesting that the XC90 might be a very direct competitor to itself because pricing actually starts a little bit cheaper, but once you option up, it's more. It's obviously a bigger vehicle, more spacious, but you get some other aspects to that. It's a unique car out there. I've really enjoyed riding in it, being around it, driving it. I'd love to see how this thing would do in the winter. It's got the all-wheel drive system. I mean, but just cruising around, it's a very comfortable upscale vehicle. Volvo has done an excellent job. I think I might like this more than the XC90 solely because I'm not the hugest SUV fan. I like a slightly lower center of gravity. It looks amazing. It's a wagon. It's practical. You got the cargo space. Rear seats are pretty comfortable. I honestly don't think I can find any major things to complain about with this vehicle. So there it is. In summary, the V90 Cross Country. Volvo has made giant leaps to really modernize their platform, introduce all sorts of great technology, great amount of luxury. The design is unique. It's very well put together. I personally, having spent time with several of them now, can't find anything to really complain about. This one with a Polestar Tune adds some added fun to it, some added kick. The responses are really nice. I was impressed with these transmission shift points and how it feels. Throw it back in dynamic and have a little bit of fun on the way back. Practicality. So, I mean, who wants to buy this car? You want to look for a luxury vehicle that not everybody else has. Your neighbor has an E-Class, your other neighbor has a couple Audi, an all-road or whatever. You want something that's different. You want to be unique, but you also don't want any sacrifices, which there are no sacrifices with this car. I like it a lot. If you're thinking about it, look into it. Go check it out because apparently they're doing good deals, and I love the modern Volvos. 2 thumbs up from me. Hope you guys like this video. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks for watching.